Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of the James Brown Podcast. I'm your host Raj, and with me as always is Spencer.
Hello.
How you doing, man?
I'm not your co-host anymore?
You always still my co-host.
No, you didn't say it.
Yeah.
With me as always is my co-host Spencer. You always say it. For like 20 different episodes you've always said it.
Not anymore. Well, at least not for this episode.
Does that mean that I've graduated up or I've graduated down?
No, you're still the same.
I'm still your co-host.
Yeah.
We equally share the rights of the
Sure.
project. Oh, you've never admitted it once.
Welcome to week 3 of Ghibli month.
Excellent.
This week we are reviewing Whisper of the Heart. We also watched Mononoke, which is still, by the way, my favorite Ghibli movie.
Still also
So good.
a poor decision to watch 2 Ghibli movies in a row because that adds up to about 4 hours of viewing.
And then we have to go to work in the morning.
Yeah, it's really tiring.
Oh, man. I'm always ridiculously tired. Near the ending of Mononoke, when they're putting the head back on the deer god.
Spoiler.
I was just really tired, and I was starting to fall asleep. I'm like, I'm almost there. I just gotta keep awake.
Oh, I was wanting to pass out since you clicked play on Mononoke. I mean, I like Mononoke. It's actually one of their best movies, but we're not reviewing it because that's just universally understood.
And accepted. So, Whisper of the Heart. This is about... Okay, first of all, do you want to tell them what I said?
So, okay, we're sitting there, and I'm queuing it up, and Raj sits on my couch, and he goes, so, I heard that this movie inspired Inception. And I just burst out with uncontrollable laughter at him. And he's like, what? I'm like, okay, wait. So just remember what you said, and after watching this movie... reflect on what you just did.
I was actually thinking about paprika. Is that what it's called?
Probably paprika.
Yeah. So
it's a spice.
I know.
Your people use it.
Do they?
I don't know. Do they?
I don't know.
Well, now I sound ignorant. You're supposed to respond with it.
I don't use it.
I'm talking about, anime-loving people like that. I wasn't being racist or anything.
I like you stammered on the racist part.
What are you talking about?
Oh, I don't know. So, Whisper of the Heart, I had very high expectations going into this movie, and you kept telling me over and over, like,
I tried to lower them. I'm like, listen, like you and Georgie, welcome back.
Georgie is totally part of Ghibli month by this point now.
He's watched every single, whatever. He's like, I'm actually really excited for this, it's good. And then he's like, every, turn, he'd be like, oh, this is going to happen, yeah. And I'm like, guys, this isn't that kind of movie.
Well, maybe that guy will get hit by the car, maybe the cat's going to drag her into a new world.
Nope.
And then eventually Georgie's like, I'm just waiting for this old man to rape Shizuku.
And none of this, thankfully, happens, okay? Whisper of the Heart is a wonderful middle school romance anime. And that's pretty much what it is at its core, and it does it really well.
It is, and it keeps the romance. It complicates it at first, and then it simplifies it to what I like.
It disregards the complications so quickly.
Which is good.
It is really good.
Because, honestly, nobody cares.
Yeah.
So our main character, thinly plot-wise, is Shizuku, and she's a big bookworm, she reads a lot, and she notices that someone always takes out the same books as her first and has read them before she has. And she starts kind of fantasizing about this guy and, what he's like. And the romance kind of bring...
Does Seiji sound like a guy name?
It didn't have his first name, it just had the last name.
Did you take your allergy pills today?
I did, but your house just kills me for some reason.
I don't know why.
This is the third week in a row where when we start our podcast, my allergies...
Your eyes aren't even open anymore. You're like, oh, yeah,
I can't with my eyes.
I can't see the microphone.
They're watering so fast.
That's my hand, Raj. That's not the mic.
Your house is just killing me every week.
I don't know why.
Last week we had to stop the recap because I had to just excuse myself. I couldn't even talk.
There's one moment in the podcast where it sounds like it's a little bit of an echoey effect. That's because I forgot to delete the fragmented. I pieced it together. Okay, fine. We don't do every podcast live. Okay, we pretty much do. They pretty much run through. But sometimes, actually, there's this one podcast we did. I don't remember what it was.
It was God only knows.
Okay, but we said things.
You did a fantastic job in putting that back together.
We said things at the end that I put at the beginning because it tied in with something we said in the middle.
Someone called us out on that. He's like, "Why did you mention this beginning? It just didn't fit with the rest of the conversation." Like, he knows.
He knows.
Anyway, we're talking about Whisper of the Heart.
Not a pro, okay?
I'm a little bit better now. I can see again.
Oh, excellent.
For now. So, Whisper of the Heart, Spencer kept putting my expectations down and down and down. And really, so the way it started with her, fantasizing about the guy and everything, I really liked it. Because I like that kind of simple romance. I think it's interesting. Middle school romance, I told you while we were watching the movie, I only have 2 experiences with this in terms of anime. Cardcaptor Sakura, which I didn't know I had experience in because they cut it all out in the English dub. And then Inari Kon Kon Ko Ira, which had a really awful,
What does
shitty
that mean
romance.
in English?
Oh, Inari is her name. Koi means love.
And Kon?
Kon Kon's a little wolf that lives on her head. And I don't remember
Sorry,
what Ira
a little
means.
what?
It's a wolf. It's a wolf god.
Wolf.
Yes. What'd I say?
Woof.
Oh.
I was like, it's a little woof. This is like, woof, woof. I didn't know what you were talking
It's
about.
a little wolf god that lived on her
Okay,
head.
pronunciate, my friend. Pronunciate.
Okay, well, I'm kind of...
ESL.
I'm dying.
I understand. Oh, sorry.
Wow. I never went to ESL, you racist prick. Wow.
Wait, is English your first language?
No, technically not.
Then you're ESL.
But I never went to ESL.
I'm not putting all the negative connotations in there. I'm just,
I just went looked at
just
normal
because
classes.
you didn't go to the class doesn't mean you're not ESL. English as a second language. That's what it is for you.
Whatever. This fucking is going way off track.
Woof.
Hey, I speak English pretty well.
You do.
So
Magnificently even.
thank you. Inari had a horrible, horrible middle school romance. The only interesting part of Inari was a high school romance that was actually for side characters. But this anime did it really well. I really like how she was fantasizing and she didn't really know. And every one of her friends, because she's that kind of girl who boys never pay attention to her. And then when someone finally does, we're moving on near the end of the movie, her entire class is excited for
That
her.
was
They're
really
like,
cool. I
she
like
finally
that.
got a boyfriend. Yeah, good for her. Like just that kind of camaraderie.
Well,
between
that's what you
classmates.
get
It's
kind
so
of in
nice.
elementary school and middle school a little
Yeah.
bit, that you lose in high school because it's just so big, right? Like in elementary school, at least in my elementary school, I knew everybody.
Yeah.
Everybody in your class. And if that happened, which schools in Japan are a lot different because they're separated into those classes. You don't really ever go to different classes at lunch. At least I didn't. So I don't know. It's always structurally different than North America.
I don't know. I really like that. I didn't like it when they start complicating it with the whole love triangle, where her friend likes somebody, but somebody else likes her, and then he sent the guy that she likes to tell her, basically. Mm-hmm. And then
she got mad at him.
And then the main character got mad. Yeah, she got mad at him. The main character got mad at him. And the main character tells her, "My friend likes you. You're an idiot." And the main character's like, "But I like you."
Because they're I think they're childhood friends or something. At least that's the way they acted.
Yeah, they are childhood friends.
I mean, that guy, he had a name, but I even looked on Mal,
Harada?
and I couldn't even. No, that's Yuko's last name.
Okay.
I don't know. Anyways, he had such little importance because all he was there. He showed up in like a handful of scenes. He was only there to chuck the romance for a little spin. But then Yuko and Shizuku just recovered from it. And I love their friendship. Really good friendship.
I also like how the guy actually outright told her that he likes her.
Yeah.
He went man mode. He's like, "I love you."
Yeah.
And then when she walks away, he grabs her hand and he doesn't let her go. Like, give me an answer.
That friend zone was probably the most epic friend zone I've ever
he's just
seen.
like, just friends, and she doesn't even say anything. She just nods, and then he just lets go.
Nobody's like, forever?
Yeah.
Nods. It's
Oh,
like,
man.
oh man, I feel
I mean, I don't care about him, but as a fellow man, it's being here.
It's been happened. It's been happened.
It's been
happened all to me all the time.
I guess English as your first language isn't helping you too much.
Oh,
no, Rex, son.
sit down. I mean, stand up and then sit back down, okay?
You know, when we ordered a pizza for this movie.
Yeah, we did.
And it took an hour to get here.
What a gong show.
It came, but it was the wrong pizza at the wrong size, but the right drinks.
Everything was wrong except the drinks.
And then we were like, you know what? We'll pay for it anyway, and then just bring our pizza. And she's like, sure. It took another half hour for her to come back.
We ordered it at 9. It came at like 10. But the cool thing was I got a $25 credit to my Pizza Hut account on my number.
That'll come in handy next week.
It will. Unless I use it this weekend.
Last week, keep looking with, oh, you better not.
I won't. We'll eat pizza again next week.
Feels good, man. So this movie was a change of pace from the other ones that we watched. More so because it's more in the city. Even the movie itself makes fun of that. In that, like, the whole concrete roads thing.
Yeah. Shout out to Pompoko in this movie.
And Porco Rosso.
Yeah. Actually, a lot of heavy shout outs to Porco Rosso. I'm going to explain this just in a second here. But, I mean, on the clock face, it clearly said Porco Rosso.
Yeah.
And a lot of the clothing styles of the older man when he was younger with his lady across the seas, almost identical to everything that's being worn in Porco Rosso. So honestly, I'm thinking
But they take place in the same time period, don't they?
Yeah. So what I'm thinking is maybe the girl who he lost, what was her name?
I don't know. He never said.
Yeah, it was Lucille or something
he?
like that. Anyways, whatever her name is, we got to pay attention because it might come up as a name call out in Porco Rosso.
Are we even watching that?
Well, we're going to, regardless of whether we review it or not.
Okay.
It's one of the bests. It's one of the greats.
So
I'm just failing at this English thing.
it's leaving you. So I really liked the shots of the compact city, especially the hand painted backgrounds. It does the thing where I explained it like Dragon Ball Z. Like in Dragon Ball Z, you can tell when a piece of terrain is gonna fall apart or blow up because it just has it's colored differently and it's drawn a bit differently. It's the same here where the characters are drawn a bit differently from the background because the background is so beautiful and like static and it kind of looks like it's painted, but the characters are more dynamic. But
Well,
it's
they
still
can't put that much detail into moving frame by frame.
it still
character.
blends enough that it's not jarring, and I kind of forget to notice it. Like I just don't notice it anymore when I'm watching the movie. But I really, 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 really like the art of the background of this anime.
Yeah, it especially helps to portray the childhood feel to it, you know? Like, even though it's really hyper realistic, it helps to paint Shizuku's mindset. As she travels through the city, she explores hidden pathways, and it adds to that kind of charm that I guess all of us anime watchers get from Japan. Like that tight, narrow, old feeling, whatever that Japan kind of emanates, but wouldn't really provide if we actually went there. But it might. I don't
You're
know.
stammering all over the place today.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of okay. When he came over, I was playing To the Moon.
Is that still getting you?
Yeah, it's
wow.
just it's a heavy game, man. I was playing To the Moon, and I didn't get all the way through. Obviously, I just got it on the Steam Summer Sale, but I've been wanting to play it forever because I'm a sucker. I'm a sucker for movies and stories that just try to get you to cry. I cry for everything, man. Up, I was dead. The first 5 minutes of Up just destroyed me.
Up was heavy.
Anyways, this game that I'm playing is a pretty heavy storyline. Well written, very well written, and the music is just. What happened was I had to pack because I'm going to Whistler to do Tough Mudder. I don't know if any of you know what Tough Mudder is, but it's pretty much a grown-up's version of a kid's obstacle course that's like 20 kilometers long, and I'm obviously not ready for it, but it's going to be good. Anyways, I was packing for that, and this really depressing piano music was playing in the background. I'm just like, you know if you watch a really good anime movie that has a sad ending, and you feel like kind of dopey afterwards? It kind of happened to me after I played Last of Us. Did you feel that way? Kind of dopey?
I don't know. I can't remember. It's a while since I played that.
Anyways, I'm kind of in a dopey mood. Sorry for stammering and
It's a
stuff.
good movie, or a good game.
Good game.
Rube just played through it. That kid is so bad at video games. I haven't realized it because he stopped playing a long time ago. The only thing he plays now is Kingdom Hearts, but he played last.
He plays League.
Yeah, but he's not good at that either.
He's not bad.
Well, he's average, maybe below average.
Well, he can have fun being
But
average.
look, I'm not talking about fun. I'm talking about skill here, and his skill is not very good when it comes to video games. It's kind of sad. He and I just could not be any more different.
What are we talking about?
We're talking about little brothers now. So, where were we? Cities, Pocoroso?
We were just talking about the way that Miyazaki connected the two films.
Okay,
Just
so
the atmosphere of the childhood and all that.
about the romance. When it gets back to the romance between Shizuku and Seiji, is that his name?
Yeah,
that
Amasawa
is
or whatever.
when the movie, because I was kind of like I was enjoying it, and then I got bored.
I felt your interest dropping pretty quickly when she found the shop and you were wandering around. And you're like,
Because I was like magic, and then there's no magic.
I told you. I was like, you guys are expecting
It's
so much.
a shop with like a cat in a top hat. How is that not magical? And then it wasn't. And
Well,
as soon
yeah.
as I realized there was no magic, I was like, phone's out, I'm done. And then it went back to the romance. I'm like, okay, I'm back in now because the romance is interesting. I really like it. I like the whole violin thing. I like when she starts singing for him and he'll play for
I
her.
love how they animated her face to look very strained at first, and then it got a lot better. I don't know. It just did good.
I like that. I like when he goes to visit her at school. And like, she has a visitor? No way.
Yeah.
And I like how they're walking away, and then because Joji hasn't watched much anime, and then I'm like, she's going on the roof, and like he's like, where are you taking me? I'm like, the roof, and Spencer's like, yeah. And Joji's like, why would she take him on the roof? And then they go on the roof. He's like, what? Why are they going on the roof? How'd
It's
you
the
know
roof.
that?
Plus, it's always locked. You don't even know why he has a key, but whatever.
Joji.
Yeah, George's
Trust
like,
me.
listen.
It's always the roof.
Watch as much as we, it's the roof, okay? Especially since a ton of our listeners watch a weekly anime that's all about that roof. We dropped that so quickly. One big friend.
Oh, right.
Yes.
Yeah, I didn't even know what you're talking about. That's how much I didn't care about it. Apparently, it did get dark at like the last 2 episodes, but the darkness resolved like that. So, meh.
I'm going to have to edit that snap out. At least bring it down.
Okay,
It was
well,
too
fine.
loud.
I'm sorry.
Can you calm down?
Only if you speak English properly. So he in the one scene. Okay, I love this is the best scene in the anime, in my opinion, where
The bike riding scene?
she's no before that when she's sleeping and she wakes up
Yeah.
and she just decides to look outside and he's there.
Yeah.
And he says, I was just thinking in my head, Shizuku, please come. And then you came out.
It's just so
I was
manly.
like,
It's so romantic.
This guy
and cute.
is such like an amazing romanticist. That's the
Yeah.
word. And he's like 14.
Yeah.
Like, holy crap, dude. Like, everything he did, I was like, this guy's just like that when the car came, he just like he puts himself in front of her.
Oh, that.
It's so
I
subtle.
commented on
she
that.
doesn't
I was
even
like,
notice it.
She doesn't notice, but he totally protected her with his bike just because he could. It's a classic middle school. This guy is just a man. That's the problem with this anime, though, is that it's pretty squeaky clean.
Yeah.
There's no. It's great if you want a sugary sweet pick me up, but there's nothing else. Like Seiji, there's really nothing wrong with him.
He's
at
just
all.
a very ambitious person who'll do what he wants.
And then they asked to get married at the end, and it just kind
We
of.
had to rewind because we were talking about something. We'll get to what we were talking about. But we were talking about something, and then I look over to the screen, and he's like, "Will you marry me?" He's like, "Whoa!"
Gonsteru. And I was
What
like, you
the-
just dropped that?
And Spencer's like, "Did he just drop the M bomb?" Like,
Yeah.
we gotta rewind. What the hell just happened?
Okay, I know for some reason everyone's like, but Spencer's seen all these. Why does he act so surprised? Well, because I've seen these a really long time ago.
It's been close to like 10 years. Now.
Yeah, really long time ago. So I'm really rubbing hard with the brain thing, trying to get it all out.
Although Spencer doesn't have the best memory in the world, as
No?
he's proven with names.
No, I don't. That's why phones are there with calendars built in.
So, what we were talking about during actually before we get to this, the whole when he was riding the bike up the hill and he's like, "I want to take you up the hill once," and then she says, I'm a burden to
I'm
no
no
man.
man's burden.
I am no man's burden." It's not what she said, but it's what they translated to. It was so epic.
Yeah.
It's
It
like,
was-
man, that was pretty cool.
This woman knows. This woman will make an epic sandwich one day.
No, she's just a good partner.
It's
You
the
know,
birth of feminism.
sure. What was I gonna say? I can't remember now.
You shut me down so nicely.
The best way to shut somebody down is just to say sure, because it works so well.
Yeah, you do it to me all the time.
It's what I do against ragers online. It works so well.
The thing about this anime is the pacing was so interesting. The first, I'd say 40 minutes flew by because it was very setting heavy.
No, it wasn't that much. Like 20.
Okay, 20 to 30. Okay,
Yeah.
but then the middle chunk was like, ugh. But then all of a sudden it was over. Like, we were like, whoa, the movie's over?
Yeah. The whole story thing, I can relate to that because I do writing. I don't know if you can.
I did writing once. I'm writing once. Freaking A. No, I once read.
I know exactly what I'm going to call this podcast now in the description. It's going to be, what is this, episode 15? James and Brown Podcast,
I'm
episode
sorry.
15, part 1, in which Spencer loses his mind.
I'm distracted. I've never been to Whistler before in my life.
Really?
Yeah,
That's nice.
And I've never gone on a trip with Janelle without parents around, so it's kind of fun. I don't know. I'm excited.
You take her out all the time.
Yeah, but not on a trip overnight when parents aren't there. I'm
I
getting
know.
married in 21 days, but I'm not a child, okay?
Well.
Well, I'm a child in terms of that, but it's because I uphold my standards. That's all it is.
Yeah, you do. It's true.
Thank you, man. Thanks. I'm glad you didn't say sure. Sure.
I've shared more.
Okay, we've talked about Whisper of the Heart for probably 5 minutes. Okay, this movie, there's not much.
This is a
there.
terrible review.
It's a great.
We're all critics. We're so bad. Okay, characters, all of them very good in that they're strong in what they do, but they're kind of flat at the same time because they don't do anything else. Like the sister mostly exists to bitch at Shizuku. Shizuku herself is probably the most dynamic of all of them. Seiji is just, I want to make violins. and
He's
I love
2D.
you.
He's just like a picture perfect man put in there to drive Shizuku's character.
It's how,
development.
like, in some anime, like, it's the dude's the main character, and you have, like, this, he has this perfect woman that he's going after. This is the reverse
It's
of
a
that.
shoujo movie. It is.
This one? I don't think
You don't think so?
No.
What do you think this is?
I don't think it's JoJo. This is just a good movie. Okay, look. No,
You can't just erase all genre. No.
No, I don't know how to describe it. This doesn't feel like it's for women. This feels like it's for everybody.
So it's like a romance.
JoJo's more targeted to women. This one doesn't feel like that at all. I can relate to this girl a lot.
I know, but we can relate to a lot of shoujo movies and TV shows that we're
related
not
more.
supposed to. Yeah, I've related to more. Oh, jeez.
Okay, so what we were talking about when we got distracted was, I'm talking about when we were watching the movie. He takes her to a secret spot, and I say, why does everybody in Japan have a secret spot. And then you said, I have one. And then Georgie said, I have one. I'm like, what the hell? And we had like a 15-minute conversation about secret spots, why you guys have them, when you go to them, how you found them, and like just, because I don't have one.
I was surprised you didn't. Well, that's because. Never mind. Okay.
Say it, just say it. Just say it.
You don't
Just
leave the
say it.
house.
Just say it.
You
There
don't
it
leave
is.
the house. Your secret spot, you said was your bedroom.
It's true.
And I'm like, okay, buddy. Okay, I have a secret spot. It's not too far. It's in my neighborhood, but I go there when I need to think. It's gotten me through a lot of times when things were overwhelming. I sit down. Georgia has some secret spot in Coquitlam that he said he had to pay a toll for, and I laughed at him. But it's just,
I don't know. When I need to think, I go driving.
I think a lot of people have some place that something they do or some place they go where it's a secret spot. I mean, even Onodera has one, and she showed it to Raku.
Her spot was lame.
Why is it lame?
There's nothing
Her spot
there.
was almost exactly like Seiji's spot.
But no, Seiji's had a way nicer view.
No,
Of the country? Oh no, Dara's did not have a view of the country.
that was not of the country. It was city, and then
view of the city, and then like a river. Oh no, Dara's didn't have a river.
there might have been a river.
You really need to catch up on Isekoi, by the way.
Yeah, I
the
know.
Yui development, oh baby.
I know, I'm getting there.
Yui, Team Yui. I've jumped ship from
The
Shogun.
manga's just...
It's so good.
My app doesn't tell me
After the
things.
Sugumi crap, it's so good again.
You know my memory. I don't... If I click on the app, then it refreshes. It doesn't refresh in the background. Stupid app. That doesn't help me. When does it come out?
It's kind of sporadic, but it comes out every week.
That doesn't help me.
I know.
Is One Piece back?
Yeah.
Good.
It was what the hell happened? in this
No, don't tell me.
No, I was trying to think. I can't remember what happened.
Okay, honestly, I think we need to review this anime. Let's give our scores. I think we've said.
Oh,
enough.
Whisper of the Heart. I thought you were talking about the One Piece.
No, clearly not.
Okay, Whisper of the Heart. Good, incredible, well handcrafted, like painted backgrounds in the world and everything. I really like how it looks.
So detailed.
I really actually like the whole singing that's put in. That's pretty funny. And it's actually good at times. The relationship between Shizuku and Seiji is great. Some reason the names are so incredibly natural that like
We've totally didn't know what name was with which character
Yeah.
throughout the whole thing. It's because they
and
didn't.
it's not because they were forgettable. It's just that names so naturally are flowed into the conversation.
Yeah.
That it doesn't like.
It
stick
did
out to you.
dialogue pretty well, except the dad.
The dad is a really bad voice actor, and I don't know why. He really sounds like he just doesn't want to be in this movie, and he's just like, I want my paycheck, just let me go home. Like, that's what it sounds like. But the dad character, pulling him away from the voice actor, is actually really cool. I really like how he's like, I'll let you do what you want for these 3 weeks, but I honestly just want you to study, and the path you're going through is going to be way harder than just going to study and going to school and crap. That was really nice. Honestly, other than the dad thing, his voice actor, this anime doesn't do anything bad per se. It's just a little dull.
It's just not phenomenal.
But as far as slice of life goes and stuff like that, this is significantly better than Totoro and Pompoko.
Ranking out of 5?
Out of 5, I would give this a 4.
Really?
Yeah, it's good. Well, yeah, 4.
Really? That's
Because it picked back up at the end.
That's a lot higher than I thought you were going to give this one.
Yeah?
I really like the series. It has a lot of nostalgia value for me. Whoa, what? Did you stop me so you could cough?
No. But what did I give Lapida? Did I give Lapida 4?
4.5.
Are you sure?
Or did you give Lapido 4?
I'm pretty sure I gave Lapida 4. Okay, I give
You
this.
give Howl's 4.5. You gave Lapido 4.
Okay, I give this 3.5.
That's what I was going to give it. 3.5.
3.5.
Because honestly, it's a great movie, but your life won't suffer if you don't watch it.
It's one that I will never watch again.
I think the best way to describe this movie was in the words of Georgie. He's like, you just feel kind of relaxed after watching it. It's kind of like something nice, something fresh.
Yeah.
So
it's a movie where I just couldn't watch again. Like,
No.
I did enjoy it, but I'll never watch this movie again.
And it's not a really good introduction to Japanese anime. My Japanese anime. It's not a really
Shout
good.
out to Ego Raptor.
Yeah, it's not a really good. What do you call it? Introduction to Japanese anime. I did it again because it's very heavy on the kind of Japanese. What do you call those things? Idioms. Like it's like going to the roof, and their names are really quickly said. I know there's a dub, but honestly,
Meh. We listened to it a bit.
Okay, we tried our best to find, because we're going to put the ending theme, or the intro song at the end, we want to, at least, but we couldn't find anything. It's all in the English dub. Apparently everyone likes the English dub version of the songs better than the Japanese
There's a lot of
ones.
people who were wrong.
Yeah, it's a lot of people who are wrong. But, yeah, anyways, you'll hear it at the end, I guess. Anyways, so I give it a 3.5, not because it was bad, but because it wasn't like exceptional in regards to what Ghibli films can produce.
Okay.
Yeah, 3.5.
Yeah, solid movie. What are we doing next week?
Well,
what do you want to review? We
it's a
planned
surprise. I'm doing that because we have no idea.
We don't know what we're gonna do
There's
yet.
tons. We could do
Because we're not gonna do the new one.
we could do Kiki's Delivery Service. We could do Porco Rosso. We could do Ponyo, which we're not going to do. We could do that Ice Fire Dragon one, which I don't want to do either.
It's not. No.
We could do Cat's Return, which I
No.
don't want to do either.
No.
So it's really between Porco Rosso and Kiki's Delivery
Kiki's.
Service. Kiki's Delivery Service is another slice of life.
I don't want to go to the stuff
Porco
again.
Rosso is another action one.
We'll see. We'll see.
We'll see.
It's a surprise.
Yeah.
Because even we don't know.
Even we don't know.
So with that, I am Raj of James and Brown.
And I'm Spence of James and Brown.
See you guys next week with some Ghibli movie for our last week of Ghibli month. And another recap.
Okay, see you later.
Bye.
Bye.